we need to talk about the rise of the skinny beauty standard. Hi, my name is Ricky's Vlogs, and I'm exhausted. Also, I bruised my nose, can you tell? Yeah. Anyway, I see a lot of content creators talking about the rise in thinness as a beauty standard. And it's not exactly surprising considering the way the pendulum always swings. Curvy was in 2010, so now skinny is in. And a lot of people are also being like, oh, but it's different this time. Though, as somebody that's been on some darker sides of the internet and has a documented ED, I don't necessarily think so. I think that we're just seeing more of what was the cultural standard in the past, and how that's all playing out. That talk, which I just learned about today, is when parents talk about like dieting and weight and that sort of thing around their children. And that's something I definitely grew up with. And I think a lot of people in the 2000s grew up with, specifically white people. Like my mom was always on a diet, always following the latest health food trend, only ever buying the bulk of clean eating types of food. So much so that before I was no contact with her, I had taken my wife, at the time girlfriend, over to visit, and she was hungry and she looked in the fridge, and in the fridge was one jug, one carton, she's not going to buy a full jug, one carton of almond milk and a bag of carrots. And my wife just looks at me like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, yeah, that's just how she is, we'll go out and get takeout, it's fine. And my grandma was always constantly yo-yo dieting, trying to lose the same 50 pounds over and over again. And there was a time period in my early 20s when I gained a significant amount of weight, and my family was like, hey, you need to start losing weight. And that's just kind of like what the culture is in a lot of white families. Fitness is the ideal and you have to achieve it, and if you don't achieve it, then you're not attractive. And I think that with the rise of fascism in this country, we're seeing more and more white beauty standards be pushed, and those white beauty standards are standards meant to keep specifically women frail and weak, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. I want to hear your thoughts. Am I talking through my ass? Do you think this is correct? Let me know in the comments.